everybody, CohhCarnage here with a thoughts video, this time on Arcane's Redfall. Now, I have not finished this game yet. I have played a little in co-op, I played a little bit of the main story, and I am planning on finishing the game just in the off chance that it may change my thoughts on it a little bit. But I did feel that I probably know enough about this game to at least get down my initial thoughts on how Redfall is and what it is. So, first of all, Redfall, if you take out the bugs and issues, is an aggressively mid game. I'd like to thank my chat for helping me come up with that. I don't think there's a better way to describe it. This is a game where the entire encompassing environment, everything about this game is just mid. There's nothing that really stands out. The characters don't really stand out. The side stuff doesn't really stand out. The itemization doesn't really stand out. Everything about it is just pretty baseline. Now, I do want to point out, mid is not bad. Guns and itemization and the perks of the guns and the levels are pretty standard. The characters, they're voice acted. They're pretty standard. The world looks pretty lived in. The graphics aren't terrible. They're pretty standard. Again, it feels kind of like a studio, an indie studio's first game. It's not terrible. It's just all pretty standard. On top of that, similar to an indie studio, there are no cutscenes at all yet. In fact, which is very strange because the promotion of this game had like fully CGI'd characters running through the city, doing unique moves and stuff. Every cutscene we've seen so far, even a movie in a movie theater, has just been still scenes. Which, funny enough, we just played an indie game called Everspace 2, and in talking to the devs directly, they told us, oh, we did that to save money because we're a small studio and we couldn't do big cutscenes. I'm going to get to that in a minute. So again, not counting the bugs and such, Redfall is just an aggressively middle game. Nothing about it really stands out. Nothing about the core mechanics are super bad. Now, though, we get to the part about the bugs and other stuff. I have no idea how this game's AI made it through testing. Talking about bugs and weird mechanics, the AI in this game is actually atrocious. It is broken. There's no other word for it. It is broken. Enemies do not aim at you properly on the hardest difficulty. Sometimes they don't aim at you at all. Sometimes they don't fire at all. If you put yourself in front of an enemy, it will do weird motions and zigzags, trying to like hide behind cover that's not there to get to you, and then shoot a shotgun off to your side. Like, there are vampires that just won't move when you come up to them. Another vampire we did kind of ran up to us and then swung at the side of us when we hadn't moved. It's a broken AI. I wouldn't even call it a bad AI because it's clearly broken. It's clearly not working. So and there are other bugs as well. There's bugs with co-op, progress not saving. There's bugs with random things in the world. I was playing single player and my ArcNet connection crashed and I lost progress. So, I mean, there are bugs in this game. And again, the AI, which arguably is one of the most important factors in a co-op shooter, is just broken. It's broken. So hopefully they can patch that. But even if they do, it's still going to be a very aggressively mid game. Now, this is the first part of this thoughts video, and that is the game itself. And I do want to point out, you can have fun in this game. If you treat it just like a shooting gallery and you go in with no expectations, you know, the world can be kind of fun to run around in. If you like Ubisoft style repeating missions on the map, which, let's face it, a lot of people do. There are people that are having fun in this game. There are people that are having fun in this game with friends. But here's the important part as we move to the second part of this video. The people doing that are generally people that don't know who Arcane is. They didn't go in with any expectations. They just went in to shoot vampires. They don't care about the bad AI, and they're just wanting to, like a shooting gallery, essentially. That's what it is. Now, this is where the video is going to take a little turn. And this is where all that stuff I just said starts getting a little bit more context. This is not an indie game. This is not a game that anyone was expecting or wanting to be aggressively mid. This is a $70 game from a flagship studio that has made amazing games in the past. So all of a sudden, all of that aggressively mid stuff starts getting all this context behind it, where expectations start building up. When you have a game come out from an amazing studio, when you're going to charge $70 for that product, you are setting a bar. And this game at aggressively mid doesn't even come close to that bar. This is a company that brought us Prey, Prey Moon Crash, Dishonored 1 and 2. Even if you go back far enough, Arx Fatalis. These are iconic games with amazing characters, awesome stories, phenomenally fun, unique environments, powers, all sorts of stuff. Prey had an amazing space station to explore where every single thing you pick up, you want to read because you just want to know more about this world. This should have been, from this studio, an amazing product because that's what we expected from them. Not only that, but Bethesda, this is one of their flagship studios. So anyway, yeah, with my Dishonored shirt. I know. Hashtag remember the good days. So that's, I think, where a lot of the feedback and issues are coming from with this game. People are angry at Redfall because, again, when you charge $70 for something, you don't expect to get cutscenes that the exact same style as in an indie game, and the indie devs tell you we did this to save money. That's not why you pay $70. You don't pay $70 for comic book style cutscenes and no 3D animated cutscenes of any kind. It's wild. So that's where I think the biggest issue with Redfall is not only was the marketing off for this game completely, not only did it release with in a completely bugged and broken state, not only was it a $70 game, not only was it from a flagship studio, your bar was so high for this game, and this game comes in so far below it, that obviously people are going to be frustrated and pissed. I hate saying it, but it's like, how can we get excited for things that Microsoft puts out when there's two things coming out from Microsoft this year that are big: Redfall and Starfield, and it's sitting and this is one of two, and this is what it is. It's just like, it's very concerning. It's very concerning. It's even more concerning when you factor in that a lot of people like me were hoping that Microsoft would be stepping in and not letting this kind of thing happen. And now here we are, and it very much happened. Microsoft is clearly okay with what Redfall is. And that means that this level of quality is what we can expect from game studios that Microsoft has acquired. It's no longer the kind of thing where we can say, well, it's okay, Microsoft bought the studio, maybe they'll make sure it doesn't release in a terrible state. No. That is 100% not the case. Now that we have Redfall, and this is a first-party product essentially, man, it is extremely disappointing. So, thoughts on Redfall, TLDR. This game is an aggressively standard game. The world is uninspired. I don't even read the notes in the world. I don't care about them. The gameplay is okay. Main story so far has been okay. Voice acting's okay. The AI is not okay. The bugs are not okay. But again, nothing about it even gets close to the bar that was supposed to be set for this. And it is a very disappointing and dark day for the Arcane brand, to put it bluntly. Now, what I do think is that Arcane absolutely can come back from this if they focus on what they're really good at, which is really crafting immersive, interesting worlds. If they lean into their strengths, which is not co-op generic shooters. Like, I am still going to be an Arcane fan, not for Redfall, but for what I know this company can achieve, because frankly, most of it's still there. And I know some of them personally, and they're a great group of guys. They just obviously need to try to stick to what they're really, really good at. I'm not saying don't go outside of their comfort zone, but if they do, bring that level of quality that we're all so used to, and not just own it in, so to speak. Also, one final thing I'm going to say before I'm done with this is there have been so many people during this playthrough that have said, hey, It's not Arcane. It's Arcane Austin. Or hey, it's not really them. It's not pathetic. You know, what you're doing is you are trying to copium yourself into thinking that this is okay. Let's make this super clear. If a company puts their name on something, whatever studio is under their umbrella, they okayed that game and they are fine with their brand on it. It doesn't matter. It could be Arcane Antarctica. Doesn't matter. It's an Arcane game. The buck stops at them. It is their game. So do not even bother saying that it's that. And by the way, didn't the Arcane that make this make Prey, which is incredible? So, I mean, you can't really even say that. Anyway, it's so weird to hear people say that. Because yeah, it's just like any company, for the record, just like any company, if a company puts their name on a product, that is the company that is responsible for that product. End of story. Period. Don't ever let a sub studio or anything like that. Never is the case. It is that company, and that is a company that okayed that game. Anyway, that's it. I am going to finish Redfall. I want to take it all the way to the end just to see if maybe there is a little bit of a hidden Arcane gem in there somewhere. Like I said, I do still love Arcane, and I'm kind of a disappointed dad over Redfall. I know they can do better, and I hope they do. Also, a personal message to them from me. I'm pretty sure these guys have stated that they want to keep Redfall going and stick with it. Don't. There's not enough in this game that's worth your time. I'm sorry. Don't. You need to move on to something else, and you need to just do not try to beat this dead horse. This is a DOA product. Yes, fix the AI. Yes, get the game working and get it up to a decent point. But we do not need DLC for this game. We do not need expansions for this game. It is just going to lose you money. The brand is already trashed, to put it bluntly. So please, get us Prey 2, get us Dishonored 3, get us a reboot of Arx Fatalis. Just don't, no, please. Let's let Redfall go. Anyway, that's my thoughts on Redfall. Hope you enjoy it. There are lots of other fantastic reviewers that have been talking about Redfall. I highly encourage you watch them too to join the discussion. And as always, thank you for watching. You can find me at twitch.tv/CohhCarnage during the day or twitch.tv/Cohh in the cozy evenings. I will see you there. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.